We are live.
What's up, guys? Sorry for the late, delayed show here, but we are here. So, pre-game show for the Cardinals game.
Yep.
So exciting.
Yeah.
You're in AZ. Obviously, Andrew's in AZ right now.
Yeah, guys. So we're still down here, kind of working through the kinks of a remote show, and that's kind of tough. Kyle couldn't make it. Clearly, he's not here. He can't make it. He's doing some things today, so he is not going to attend. He might actually have to do the post-game show because we're going to be at the game.
Yep.
So I don't know if we can even hop on after. So we got plenty to talk about, guys. Is it time to get into it?
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
What's up, Kermit, man? You watching the Boat Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Boat Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bolts in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
All right, guys. So we are going to be at the game, guys. And I will say this, too. Tonight, there's some events going on as well. So we'll get into more of that as well.
Yeah.
Throw your thoughts out. We are going to be talking. And thank you, Miguel. Kyle worked really hard on that intro. He did.
Dude, Darth, man. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad you're coming out here for the game in AZ, dude. Hey, if you're coming out, you're leaving tomorrow. So as I say, tonight there's an event. We'll chat about it here in a bit. But there's also another event on Sunday night too, which we will talk about too. So, yeah, but it's a good little illustration of that dog. No, this ain't an illustration. This is exclusive. We got from the cardiac appointment for the cardiologist appointment for Jim Harbaugh. So they saw his heart, and he's got he's a dog. He's got a dog in his heart.
He got that dog, and that's a pit bull, dude.
It's a pit bull. Yeah, I thought it was so funny, like the whole video of him talking about like how he was talking about he's like a heart of an athlete, and then he's like flexing on everybody and everything too. Oh, it's so good.
He said something like the word athlete was used or something
so
like that.
Good,
so
good. Yeah, it was so good, so hilarious, man. But you gotta love to see Jim Harbaugh taking the best of it and everything too. I loved that whole interview. It was phenomenal. Yeah, I mean, and this just goes to me. That's a great example as to why players want to play for Jim Harbaugh, absolutely.
right? Because Jim is not he ain't a goofball like a Brandon Staley who walks around acting like his poop don't stink. You know what I mean? Like I'm telling you, like there's a real difference, right? He's out there, he's in the trenches, he's with his boys. There's something to be said about that.
Yep.
I think Brandon Staley kind of walked around like, oh, yeah, well, I'm this defensive genius, and we sucked defensively.
Yeah.
Nobody understood what to do. And so, I don't know. There's a level of arrogance there that I think hurt the team a lot, right?
Big
so, but yes, today. So this is what we're talking about. Yeah, the Social Tap Eatery.
Yep.
Scottsdale. We're taking it over. We will be there.
Yep. It's going to be a pretty big crew, guys. Like they have the whole bottom floor for us basically dedicated to Chargers fans. So big turnout tonight. I fully expect it. I mean, obviously see the Dolls are going to be there. Bolt Pride 602, Die Hard Bolt Club. Last night we were at the Churchill in downtown Phoenix. Awesome venue and everything too. Good little crew there and everything too. So definitely if you guys are in Arizona, come on out tonight to the Social Tap in Scottsdale. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, and it'd be fun. Like last night was amazing. We actually ended up getting some Hawaiian food from this place, and oh my goodness, it was enough Hawaiian food to feed like 5 people easily. Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. So come out, say what's up. Yep. We'll have a good time. Miguel said, "Did we get lit?" No, we got lit off of some straight up Hawaiian food, dude. Oh, bro, it was crazy. I should put a photo in here, man. I mean, it was like, it was probably 10 pounds of food. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yowzers, dude. Anyways, it was pretty fun. James and I, we like our food, and anyways, it was pretty dang tasty. So, yeah, let's talk about this. Highest paid QBs. What's up? Yeah, and the records are generally losing for a lot of these guys. Yes, I mean, which is crazy. Or 500 with Dak. I mean, the Cowboys are an absolute mess as a franchise right now. Obviously, the Browns are a mess right now. for what's happening with the Bengals, there's a lot of talk about these guys going to the Super Bowl and winning it this year, and they're 2-4, and they're just struggling as a team. I think they don't have a whole heck of a lot of running game, and just I don't think there's a cohesiveness with the team this year. No. So, and then Trevor Lawrence, that is an absolute mess once again. I mean, that's crazy. But Justin Herbert's 3-2, the only quarterback right now in the NFL with a winning record, getting paid a lot of money. So crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do think it's interesting as well too. And then Dak. I mean, I don't even know what to think about the Cowboys, man, or the Cowgirls as we like to call them. But Joey Burrow, dude. I don't know, man, all that stuff. Yeah, we'll talk a little more about this as well too. DJ Shark probably will return. We'll talk a little more about some other things as well too. Yeah. We want to kind of keep that moving. But this is interesting, man. I mean, again, our next few games look pretty freaking good, guys. Yeah. Like, we're set up to do really well. I mean, I'm not too worried about where we're going to be moving into the Harbaugh Bowl. And we were just talking about going to the Harbaugh Bowl. Yeah. We're trying to figure that out. Can make it or not make it or whatnot. But, I'd like to go for sure. But anyways, we're looking pretty good, folks.
Well, I mean, the next 5 is a big thing for us. I mean, if you think about it, like these are all teams that are all struggling in a lot of different ways. Yeah. And, like obviously with Arizona, some people I remember even in preseason saying, and I remember specifically with Arizona that they were saying that they were the 3-point favorite to win this game in preseason. And I was like, this is really strange. And then it flipped basically to 2.5 to the Chargers now as the season has gone. It actually went down to 1.5 points now favored for the Chargers since Marvin Harrison got, approved to basically play on Monday night from his concussion protocol and such too. So either which way, preseason over-unders don't mean anything. Go into the season seeing how it's really working out. We'll talk more about the Cardinals as a team in whole later on. But there's a lot of things that are happening here. And yeah, Carlos, like it's that thing, like you could legitimately, with this 5 games in front of us, past Chargers, I'll say, we'll come out of that 2-3, 3-2.
Yeah, right.
I think there's a much better coaching staff all around on this team that you could legitimately find a way to get 5 wins out of this.
Yeah.
And that would be phenomenal. 8-2. Oh my gosh. Going into the Harbaugh Bowl, dude, playoffs, baby. That's where we're at.
Yeah. Yeah. Chargers look good, guys. They look really good. I think there's a lot to be said about this. So, I mean, again, it's exciting. We're doing great. We look good. But, let's not get too cocky, right?
Yeah.
I will say this, and we'll talk more about this on the offense as well, but the difference in the game with the Broncos, and by the way, guys, sorry for not clipping up some of those videos. I do have some set up here now. I just have not had time traveling down here, other things. But getting our 2 tackles back, Rashawn,
huge.
Joe was huge, guys. So,
massive.
So, and if you break down the video, man, Joe Alt is so good. And clearly Jamari does not know how to play right guard. Mm-hmm. He was lost in a lot of these plays, but Joe stepped in and helped him out, which was shocking. But when Trey Pipkins went down, Jamari wasn't great. In fact, Pipkins is playing, right?
Yeah, he should be good.
Okay, he should be good. So we still haven't seen the actual new injury report yet, so we keep checking that out. So we're also going to talk more about that.
Harbaugh just started talking, so I'm assuming that's probably –
Harbaugh's talking? Oh, that's
here
great.
we go. Right now, just to say, Chargers are listing Joey Bosa, Hayden Hurst, Quentin
Real-time information, guys. Real-time info. This is hot off the press.
So Bosa, Hayden Hurst, Quentin Johnson are doubtful for Monday night. So one wide receiver down. DJ Shark probably be in.
Yeah.
At this point,
it's probably why DJ's in too, because he'll run the X.
Yep. So that's kind of where we're at right now at this moment. So
Hayden Hurst.
Here we go. Here's the full questionable.
Okay.
Report. Questionable for Monday: DJ Shark, Simi Fehoko, Christian Fulton, which is good. Lad McConkey, Jasir Taylor, Darius Davis, and then obviously what I talked about with doubtful: Joey Bosa, Hayden Hurst, and Quentin Johnson. Dean Leonard is out.
That sucks.
So we're down a little bit on corner. So you really hope that Christian Fulton could go out there. At this point, it's probably going to end up being, breaking news, baby. And so the whole thing I'm going to say is that we basically are going to probably have Cam Hart out there quite a bit. You're going to have Tarheeb still, Fulton. Maybe there would be a little mixture of a little bit more heavier safety set, in my opinion. I think we got a pretty good situation with safeties right now, too. So either which way, yeah, that's breaking news.
Breaking news.
Next, on to you, or whatever. Back to you.
But again, it looks like the Chargers are favored to win this one. I honestly think we can win by 2 touchdowns. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you watched my video yesterday, I broke it down. We'll talk more about the stats on this as well too. But guys, our defense is lights out. We just need to contain Kyler Murray, really lock down Marvin Harrison as much as possible. I am still wondering if we do bring up Eli Apple, right? He's on the practice squad at the moment. They haven't said anything about that, but we did just activate. They released Tony Jefferson.
Re-sign him again.
Re-sign to the practice squad. The funny thing about that, I thought we actually gave him a contract. I guess we did. I think it's actually 3 signings from the practice squad. You have to give him a contract, if I remember correctly. So I think the next time we call him up, he has to get a full contract. We released cornerback Nehemiah Shelton, which I thought was interesting. So that makes me think they might activate Eli Apple, which, I mean, guys, who knows? Like, the one thing I'll say about Eli Apple, at least he's a veteran, and he could lock down somebody, right? And again, look at Christian Minter. Christian Minter has not looked that great. Christian Fulton.
Yeah.
Christian Minter. I'm just reading this. Christian Minter. My brain's going great right now, huh? Anyways, but
it never goes great. Your brain.
What are you saying, man? Man, boy, you better watch it. You better watch. Hey,
that's right. That's right.
Get that elbow right here. Anyways, but my brain's perfect. Okay, just want you to know it's perfect. It's perfect. But anyways, I lost my train of thought now. Oh, he made Christian Fulton look good. So, like Robert says here, if anyone can make Eli Apple look good, it's Jessie Minter. So.
Right, exactly. And to go and here with the NFL and the game preview picks, Adam Rank is the only hater at this point.
Stupid.
The Cardinals basically will find a way to beat the Chargers and everything. I just don't see it with this game, in my opinion. I mean, I don't want to come in here cocky on this game, but I really feel very, very confident that we're going to find a way to win this one and do it pretty much in a way that's going to be a beatdown. Like, once again, like, think about the Bronco game last week. I mean, we pretty much had that game completely locked down for 3 quarters.
Yeah.
They don't have like necessarily the best offense. It's not too far off from the same idea of what the Cardinals offense is. Defensively, the Cardinals are kind of a mess too.
Yeah.
Chargers defense is one of the best in the league, and we have a pretty fair offense that could find a way to score over 20. So
that's right.
I think that we have a good shot on this one, and we'll chat more about that.
Well, and I'll also say this too. If you do have J.K. Dobbins, I think he's going to be a really good fantasy pickup for you this week.
Huge for this game.
I do have him on our, and I put him in over Najee Harris, by the way, guys.
Yep.
So that's how much faith I think he's going to do really well this week. Because if you look at they are horrible against the run.
Yep, very bad.
What did Green Bay run on him? I think it was almost 200 yards. It was crazy,
it was
dude.
nuts.
So they should run all over him like a dump truck.
Yeah, it should be bad.
Donkey punch them hose. You know what I mean? So, anyways, but week 7 primetime games. It's going to be an interesting one, right? So the Bronco or the Bucks and the Ravens are before us. We're kind of the redheaded stepchild this week, though. I'm like, it's kind of funny. Like,
and the thing that sucks about it, they're putting it exclusively for the nation on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, which is weird.
Locally in the market. So, like here in Arizona, you could watch it on Fox. I think in LA, you could watch it either on Fox or CBS. I'm not sure which one it's going to be. I know NFC, AFC has sometimes different channels and such, but they will locally broadcast the game. Yeah. But you basically, if you're outside of those markets, it's ESPN Plus for you, which sucks. So kind of stupid, and I hate the way that they did that.
It's really annoying. Yeah,
super dumb,
super annoying. But anyways, we'll see how it goes. But also, the NFL is getting sued for that whole NFL Sunday ticket thing. But anyways, is what it is. So so let's talk a little bit about the Chargers real quick. We'll go through some stats and we'll go through some other. Oh, actually, wait. Why don't we show a clip here? Why don't we show a clip here first? And
sharing the screen.
Yeah, let me go in here real quick.
That's a screenshot that actually the Chargers broadcasted too.
Oh, really?
From the Up and Adams show.
Ooh, Kay Adams. Hey guys, hands off. She's mine.
This guy, dude.
Oh gosh, I'm having a little mild stroke over here. I'm used to having guys. I got one screen here. I'm used to having a lot more screens. So there we go.
There we go.
There it is.
Hopefully
finally.
That's up there.
There it is. Finally. Goodness gracious, guys. Sorry about this. I got one screen to work with. Normally I'm multitasking, so I can't even do it.
I don't even think you're doing it still. I'm watching the YouTube right now. It's not even up.
Oh gosh, it keeps kicking out.
Hit share screen. There we go.
Gosh,
there we go.
No, because I can't do it this way.
Yeah.
There you go. So now I have to go in here. All right, you're gonna go see one clip, guys. That's all you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Because this is a freaking joke here. All right, guys. So here's the interception. Hopefully you guys can see it, and we can't even see the screen.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
We ain't doing more videos today, guys. I apologize. One screen doesn't work out too well. Can you see it on the screen there?
I do not. Nope, it's not even on there. Don't even worry about it. We're not talking about it. Anyways, it was a good interception.
Hell, dude?
It was a good interception.
Oh my god.
That was for the Elijah Molden interception.
Clearly, multitasking doesn't work very well. So sorry, guys. But again, you guys know the Elijah Molden interception.
I mean, the whole thing about it is like when he had that interception, I really felt like it was kind of play setted like the game. But once again, these early turnovers allow kind of the momentum to be able to shift it immediately for the team. And it really does allow that you could kind of really get out there and start scoring points quick. Same thing that happened with the Chiefs game as with the Bronco games last week.
Yeah. Well, again, and this is just kind of an easy little breakdown, right? Scoring defense.
Yeah.
I mean, we were terrible, guys. And, in 2023, Brandon Staley's supposed to be this defensive genius. It's like, bro, moronical, dude.
I mean, the whole thing about it is that's what it was every single year with him. It was always kind of the back end of the offense or the defensive rankings in the league. As you can see here, scoring defense 24th, 28th in total defense, 3-and-out percentage 26th, and how much it flips. Now, these are pretty much the same set players that they had last year.
Pretty much.
And you look at how different it is with coaching. Jessie Minter talked about it yesterday, and he was like, look, one big thing that we emphasize a lot is angles of how you're tackling. And I've always said that for years and years and years. If you don't get these guys in the right position and take the right angles, you're just going to have a ton of missed tackles. It was Matt Money Smith talked about it. He says we're one of the tops, I think the fourth best team in the NFL in tackling on the first attempt.
I think it's 60% I believe. Yeah.
Is that we'll basically tackle the guy at that point. So preaching how to tackle and the proper angles to tackle makes a big difference on this team. Because I would imagine if you look at any of those Brandon Staley defenses last year, it's probably something to the point of we're probably one of the worst in the leagues. And that's why you have a terrible defense like that.
Yeah.
So once again, Minter is basically preaching to the choir, and they are accepting this preaching to him, and they are practicing what they're getting preached about.
Like, oh, hey.
Yeah, there's a lot of jazz hands going on over there. Jazz hands. But, and the thing too, like, why I kind of feel about this whole team ahead for the Cardinals is Jonathan Gannon was kind of that same dude like Brandon Staley. Like they're buddies too, by the way.
Yeah.
And he was that hotshot guy coming from the Eagles, great defense. Now he's a head coach. We'll talk about their stats here shortly on kind of how that all looks. And it looks oddly similar in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? Like how bad. But look at the defense and the rankings right here, guys. It's bad, dude. Chargers rankings 2024. We're looking good.
Yep. Look really, really good as a whole team in general. That offensively, I mean, I think we're a little bit off on the yards per game. This is the per game scoring for us isn't the biggest thing. It's 18.2. Yep. But at the same side, I think that we're getting a little bit better on that category, and I think we're only going to get better. I mean, a lot of people talk about the Chargers and how they have a lot more potential with their offense, and they're kind of untapped at this point. So they're only going to get a little bit better as Justin Herbert gets more healthy. Yeah. Things are going to shift a lot too with this team.
Well, yeah, and remember, guys, the offense, I think partially we struggled against the Chiefs. Like I've said this over and over again that if we had our tackles for the Chiefs game, we would have won that game.
Yeah,
we would have. And I was watching Bussin' with the Boys, and they were talking about how, dude, if we had just honestly, we're probably the one team that gave the Chiefs a hard time.
Yeah.
Most teams in the NFL are not really built to beat a team like the Chargers because we run the ball, we control the ball, and we can still score it when we need to.
Yep.
And we have long sustained drives, which is big. And you take the ball away from like Mahomes, and he doesn't have a lot of time. And our defense is amazing, right? Yep. So again, I do still think offensively, like we could have scored more points the second half against the Broncos. I don't think we tried. Yeah. We were doing the Marty Ball thing, run the ball, and that was kind of it. So again, I think we could score more, but we can be aggressive when we need to be.
Yeah, well, even in the fourth quarter, you had Derwin playing as the nickel. You had him shifting around a lot on the defense and everything too. So things kind of shifted around a little bit more for that defense. So now with the Cardinals too, their offense is 15th in the league. They're throwing the ball a ton and everything too. They're rushing extremely well and everything too. Points per game is 22. I mean, that's the whole thing. But the thing is, though, their defense, it's topsy-turvy. They're in a negative deficit right now. The amount that they're scoring to defense giving up. Their defense is oddly similar to Brandon Staley's kind of stats. Defensive guru, guy that can't coach his defense while he's a head coach by any means. And you're oddly in that same point where you're just going to get lit up. You're at a negative 5 points to the T for their team right now. That's why they're 2-4 or whatever it might be at this point. They're basically in a losing situation right now. And I really feel like it's like literally the same exact team. Jonathan Gannon essentially is the Brandon Staley of the league right now, and the head coaches. Like, doesn't know how to get his defense to be that defense he had at Philadelphia.
Well, it's going to be interesting, too, because a lot of people are talking about Jessie Minter being a head coach next go-around. And you got to ask yourself this question. Just because you're a good defensive corner doesn't mean you're a good head coach. That's a very different type of skill set, right?
Yep,
big time. You know, James and I are both in tech sales, and just because a good salesman doesn't really equate to being a good manager, right? Leading people is very different than actually, well, I guess you couldn't say, a little bit different, right? You're coaching a team compared to doing your individual contributions, right?
Yep.
So, you know, you got to see the whole picture, not just one your myopic little piece, right? Which is a little bit different. So,
I mean, if you look at kind of like how this whole Cardinals defense looks at, like, they're going to get, just we were talking about, J.K. Dobbins probably going to have a big game. Kamani Vidal could probably have a pretty big game on this one too. You know, 153 yards on the ground. They're giving up a lot. What is Greg Roman's offense? He wants to run that ball, pace it out. Last week, Justin Herbert talked about this. It's like every game's going to be completely different on how we're going to attack a team. If there's we feel that we can control the game through a run game, we're going to do that. We're going to feel like we can do it through the pass game, we could do that. Like last week, what did Justin Herbert did? I mean, his first like 15 plays, I think 13 of those were passes in the beginning of the game, and we ended up scoring quite a bit on that point. So this game bodes well for Herbert. This game bodes well for J.K. Dobbins. This game bodes well for the Chargers. Like, bottom line, I've said, if we could keep a team under 20 points, which we are doing at this point, we're going to win the game. Like, first to 21 wins, in my opinion, in this game.
Yeah, and I really don't think the Cardinals. I think we're going to get some takeaways. Again, you do need to keep little Kyler Murray in the pocket.
You got to keep him contained.
Don't let him scramble a whole lot, right? Because he starts scrambling, you know, he can do some good things. Look at Bo Nix. Bo Nix, that's what he did as well too. So
he did that Thursday night too.
It just goes to show you how the Broncos are a pretty good team. But the Chargers defense was that good, and what they hang 33 on. 33 guys. That is crazy.
Spencer Rattler didn't look good, and I mean, once again,
he got bit.
If you the Rattler got bit.
He's a Rattler. He's a rattlesnake. That's what I'm saying.
Well, he's gonna be playing on the Arizona Rattlers here pretty soon. If you know what that league is. No, I'm just kidding. But he was one of those guys that was pretty highly touted coming out of Arizona, Oklahoma. He went to all these various schools and such too, and he was going to be a first round pick. Got picked up in the 5th round and everything too. But it's funny how, once again, when you started out the season, the first 2 games, everybody's like, wow, the Saints are going to be one of the best, most electric offenses in the league. And guess what they've been doing? Last 4 games, lost. Lost. They don't have Derek Carr. They don't have, they're just not that same team anymore. So you let the season play out, guys. Let the season play out.
Yeah, and injuries do make a big difference. You know, I met Matt Money Smith. Well, we talked about Money Smith at the beginning of the season, at training camp. Pappy was there. Actually, I don't know if Pappy was with us at the time when we met Matt Money Smith, but I was chatting with Matt, and I said, "Hey, Matt, what's your record prediction?" He's like, "I don't know. It's going to depend on injuries." And I was like, "Yeah, good point.
It's a great point
because you really don't know. Like, if we keep our line healthy, we're going to be in great shape. Luckily, knock on wood, our guys maybe get banged up, leave the game, or come back in later on. So." No season-ending injuries either, guys. That's nice to see.
It's been really good.
So, a lot of people criticizing, Ben Herbert for saying, he doesn't help out. Or what is it? Ben don't break. Well, we haven't had nobody broke yet. Ben, You know,
yeah,
Mr. Bosa.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of little things about this team that you could even say with the Rashawn Slater-Peck situation. You think about what Ben Herbert has been doing with these teams and these players of trying to get them conditioned to be able to bend, don't break kind of thing. I feel like that injury probably in the past could have been the end of Slater for the year, in my opinion. So, and he came back after only missing one game and had a bye week, and he's back and doing his thing, and he's beasting it up on the O-line again.
And guys, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater only gave up 2 pressures.
Yeah,
crazy. 2 pressures.
Crazy.
They're one of the well, actually, I think they were like 10th in sacks. I think
it's crazy.
So, guys, we are a different team when we have our 2 tackles out there. If we don't have our tackles, we're in real trouble. So, Anyways, I think that's really that was the difference of the Chiefs game. Anyways, I hate to belabor the point, but. So the reason why we got Joe Ortiz in front of us here, who do you think we're going to go after in the trade deadline? And guys, I'll tell you, I don't think it's just going to be wide receivers or offensive linemen. I think there could be even some defensive players we might go after as well. I know James had a couple, but in the in the chat, give us some of the thoughts of people you think we might target, right? Because I think we could get pretty crazy. So I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are.
Well, and some people talked about like Mark Andrews too, and they keep talking about that situation. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, they like him.
I think he's going to stay there. I think they kind of want him to be like a Raven for the rest of his career, essentially at this point. So, yeah, T. Higgins or Mike Williams. I mean,
you can get Mike cheap now.
You could probably get Mike pretty cheap at this point. I do think that we have to kind of wait out. If DJ Shark does officially get activated and put off of the PUP or the IR, I think that's going to be one of those things that you've got to see what you have with these guys. And now not having probably QJ in this game based upon his ankle injury and everything too, DJ Shark is going to be a bigger part of this game. And there is officially the full injury report. So share that sucker up real quick.
Share that sucker
up. But I know we chatted a lot about it already anyways. But I probably would have the Arizona Cardinals injury report too up here shortly. So either way, I know I chatted about Newsome, the cornerback from
here we go
from the Browns and such too. Oh, perfect, excellent. Now so we got all of them up here.
Doubtful. Okay, he's not gonna play.
Yeah, which says out.
I think that's fine. We'd like to have him, but what's the point, right? Give him another week. Hayden Hurst, that's a bummer. So we are going to need to bring up. Well, Tomlinson will probably be the guy that will be there.
Well, he was the captain last game too. He was the game captain last week, and he was very, very involved within the offense and everything too. So, and the thing about Tomlinson, he actually has been in Greg Roman's offense too. So, it's just like going in there and doing the same thing he's done in the past. He's not like he doesn't have like a learning curve or anything too. So that makes sense. Just Sir Taylor being on a questionable is not a bad thing. Obviously, Ladd needs to be in this one because
that's probably why we brought our cornerbacks down, Nehemiah Shelton and those other guys. So yeah, we'll probably see Jasir. He'll probably run the nickel, and it looks. And I would expect that Christian Fulton will play.
Yeah.
So that's good. So we'll be at full strength for the most part, and then we'll have our backup. Two rookies.
Yeah, Cam and Tarheeb.
By the way, Cam and Tarheeb look great.
They look great.
They look good.
Cam had a very, very high rating on PFF, which is very subjective in my opinion. I feel like the PFF is just it doesn't make sense. Like last week when they had the top 5 guys on our team and they put Quentin Johnson at number 4, and I was thinking he had 1 rush for like 0 yards and 2 catches or something like that for like 17, and I'm like, how's that productive to be able to get a high level like PFF score? Yeah. So I don't really understand it at all. So
sometimes it gets a little weird. Yeah. Like PFF, I mean, it is kind of what it is.
But with the Cardinals too, and there's obviously a fair amount of people on the Cardinals injury report too. And, Marvin Harrison Jr. is basically should be good. He did get, cleared. He is cleared 100% on this too. Trey Benson, obviously one of their backup running backs, did not practice. He has an illness, so maybe he's got the BGs, bubble guts. Christian Jones, their O-line has been getting beat up a little bit too, so it's kind of being a little susceptible to some issues there. Kaiser White, you remember Kaiser? Ooh. He is out there, and he is questionable. A lot of questionable at this point. I remember Michael Wilson actually was a guy that is kind of rumored that the Cardinals are trying to trade to the Chargers too, which would be kind of funny. Hey, get back on our bus if you make the trade happen here shortly.
Dude, how funny would that be?
But this is going to be a team where, hey, look, hold their run game, find a way to hold them down. I mean, once again, Trey McBride is a very, very good tight end. When I went to the Cardinals training camp, their last practice at the stadium, Cardinals Stadium, Trey McBride is a big dude. He looks kind of like a Gronk in a weird way. Like he's a very, very big guy. And then I saw Kyler Murray next to him. Kyler Murray looks like he's 5'3" next to him, like tiniest little dude. And it's super wild to be able to see. But Cardinals are going to be a fun one to watch, guys. I mean, once again, there's a lot of hype about them in preseason. Defensively, they're looking like trash. Offensively, they're looking good. But once again, they're at a -5 points right now.
Yeah,
well, given the defense.
I can't remember. I think we're +6 in takeaways. The Chargers are.
Yeah,
I think we're +6 if I remember correctly. We might even be higher than that. But so my point is, I do think we're going to do a good job of putting pressure on Kyler Murray. Again, contain him in the pocket. Man, and how many sacks should we have had last game, dude? Man,
it's unbelievable.
DJ should have had 2 at least, and then I know Bud Dupree should have had 2 more.
Yeah.
1 in the end zone, and I was like, oh, brother.
Yeah.
You know, I get it, trying to strip sack and do all that, but just put the guy on the ground, you know. And anyways, it would have been interesting. So, you know, I would say anyone who's questionable will most likely play. Like Seaman Fogo's full, but he's questionable. He'll play.
Yeah, he'll play.
Yeah. So the guys that are the only ones is just doubtful are out. Obviously.
Well, and it'd be interesting to see if anybody does get called up. Like everybody's like, "Hey, get Brendan Rice active. Get Brendan Rice active."
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Well, the only issue on that though is all of our wide receivers are okay except Quinton.
Yep.
But that's where DJ Chark's going to step in and he'll be ready to go again.
So it'd be Palmer, Shark,
and Ladd.
If he does officially go, which you assume he would at this point, because I know he got that compressed tackle on him.
Yeah,
and he ended up kind of coming up like, oh my gosh, that's freaking rough. But yeah, you kind of look at the wide receiver and you think it's a little thin at that point. Like, I mean, I'm excited to see DJ Shark out there if he does officially get out there, which I assume he will be at this point. And you'll probably hear something on that here shortly too. So
yeah. More information will come in tomorrow, right? Yeah. For sure. So that's why it's a little weird, obviously, as far as this Monday Night Football game. Things got pushed back a little bit, but I think we're going to be in fine shape. The nice thing about it is DJ again, and I did talk about this on ours. We'll talk the video I did yesterday. Is that the nice thing about DJ Chark is he really will be more the downfield guy. He'll be the go runner, and he'll keep the safeties active so they can't creep up the line. Right, that's the best part about it right now. And Quinton, you could argue, could do that, but the problem is nobody respects his ability to catch a deep ball. So they're like, let him run. Well, maybe not let him run, but, you know, maybe one safety goes, but they won't split the safety. The other safety won't go to help or anything like that, right? So it allows it should open the middle of the field and maybe some lower type of passes as well, too, you know, middle field type of things as well. Yeah, I keep hearing about Adam Thielen as well, too. Guys, there's going to be a lot of players available, a lot. So, you know, let's be very clear about this, guys. Man, and you guys remember, if you're a 1-win team, season's over, dude.
Yeah,
you're done. So it's like you may as well get something. If you're not going to sign the guy, get a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick and just dump him. You know, you've already paid the guy, and it's like, well. But where that gets a little wonky is they won't typically want to trade to somebody in your same division, right? It won't be like Raiders,
right?
You know, getting the Charger, you know, Raiders dumping off like Max Crosby to the Chargers. That ain't gonna happen. You know, but you know, NFC players maybe coming over to us could be interesting.
You know, and just to even say that there's another person that we did sign on the practice squad, Michaelan Castles, the tight end from Tennessee, was a guy that the Chargers did meet up with, and we did talk about as a target that we could potentially draft or get as an undrafted guy. So. That's a guy that's a 6'4", 249-pound guy. I mean, I feel like a lot of the tight ends on the Chargers are 260 pounds. They just want big guys on the line. He's a 4.68 kind of run 40, does well with straight-up blocks facing the line of scrimmage, does well with his hands to be a downfield threat, too. Good hands catcher and a violent with the ball in his hands, too, and catches well in traffic. So watch a little bit of his highlights, too. I would be interested to see if they end up throwing him out there just to see if he got caught up with this offense too. I mean, bottom line, this offense is blocking. Like block.
Well, remember, you know, Matlock is getting less defensive snaps also.
Yep.
He's getting more offensive snaps. I think he's had 40 Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're running low on battery on my
Dude,
laptop.
Here, I'll pull it up.
Oh no, but it's okay because I need this in here.
Oh,
so yeah, you're good. Yeah, so we're good. We got a few minutes, but Eli Apple. The reason why I bring this up, Eli Apple most likely will not come up this week, just because of all the corners that are going to be available right now. But we shall see. You never quite know if they bring him up or not. But I think he probably will be 1 week on the practice squad, and then maybe another injury. He'll come up. Yeah. We'll see how that plays out.
Yep.
But this would be great. Bosa for Garrett. Oh yeah, we'll take that all day,
dude. That's what I put on my video. And that's the thing. And I call that a shooting for the moon, essentially at that point. Like shooting for the moon. Let's go ahead and get a guy that we could be. Hey, let's send off our first round pick with. Let's say it's pick 27 next year. Throw him another third round pick down the road or something like that with Bosa. I mean, the Browns are a struggling bus right now, guys. They are going to be bringing in Nick Chubb back, but I mean, I don't think Nick Chubb's going to find a way to turn that team around immediately. That dude's injury is really bad. Absolute beast in the workout room, but at the same side, a bad knee injury really slows a player down.
Sure. For sure. Tailgating tomorrow. Yes, we're going to be at which lot?
Yeah, it's a green lot F, I believe.
Green lot F.
And by the way, I just bought some parking passes for the stadium for $10 right next to the green lot.
So that's so awesome.
$10 parking at the stadium. We're going to walk over there. Check it out, guys. Tonight, obviously, you got Social Tap in Scottsdale. There's going to be a meetup there tonight. And then there's also another meetup in Glendale tomorrow night, Sunday night too. So there's a lot of meetups happening this weekend. It's awesome. And right now, a lot of the guys are out Sedona and Flagstaff, which is crazy.
Yeah, they're like, hey, you want to come with us? I'm like, wow, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. Man, I'm not going though, but he was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Sedona's amazing, guys. Sure. If you've never been, it's beautiful there.
It's great. It's great up there.
So, but here, this is McKellen Castles right here. And again, guys, we did talk about him, and he did meet with the Chargers. So it's really interesting. He's an undrafted free agent. We clearly didn't sign him. Now he's on our team. I suspect he'll probably be a player that we'll probably keep for a long time, even in the offseason if he doesn't get to play a whole lot. He'll be on our team for a while. I don't think that we're going to let him go unless, he's a total bust. Like, he really doesn't work out. Dude,
I always keep an eye out for Mason Pline. That was my guy.
Mason Pline.
And he's still on the practice squad for the Niners. And I'm like, gosh, man, I think I'm a big fan of that guy. And I'm interested to see where that guy ends up leading.
Big dude.
It would be awesome.
Where was it? North Dakota State?
It was like some small school, like Northeast or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, North Dakota State.
What was it? Oh, man.
I swear.
Mason Pline, dude.
That
guy, for some reason, maybe I was trying to be that person trying to find that, diamond in the rough. Yeah. But, he found a way on the Niners, and they like tight ends over there. They do pretty good over there. So
everyone likes tight ends.
Yeah, oh, boy. Here we go. So, Poppy, we're talking about going to the Scottsdale event tonight. So it starts at 7. There's going to be a very, very good amount of people there. No, Mason Pline went to Furman.
Furman, that's right.
Yeah.
Furman. Yeah, Furman. We'll be at Scottsdale tonight.
Yep. We'll be there.
It'll be a good time. Yeah, but definitely come message us. We'll definitely make it happen. But again, I'm putting this up because DJ Chark he's going to be active. Again, guys, I'm going to talk more about DJ Chark, but also this guy right here. We all know that he's available. And the rumor is he wants to come back to the Chargers. Now, the question is, should we bring him back, right?
Yep.
And the argument is that he's the X-wide receiver, but you got DJ Chark, and he's been out the whole time. And he's our guy. Don't we have a 2-year contract with DJ? Is it 2 years or 2 years or 1?
2 or 1. I didn't want to say it might be 1, actually.
Could be.
Yeah.
I could look it up. But my point is, if DJ Chark does well today, we might not want to go get Mike Williams. Yep. So that's where the argument kind of goes back and forth, right? And we're like, okay, it's only 1 year?
Yeah, it's 1 year. Yeah.
Okay. So this is where the conversation gets a little wonky for this whole – I mean, I promise you Mike Williams wants to come back.
Of course.
Because, why would he not want to? I mean, he can – Aaron Rodgers is kind of a turd.
Yeah, well, he just wants the players that he knows.
Yes.
And, he wants basically the Packers to be there. Essentially, he's even got the same offensive coordinator he had with the Packers.
Lazard.
Alan Lazard's there. I was like, wow, now you got Devontae Adams over there. It's just bring everybody from the Packers, basically. And the thing is, though, with Mike Williams, the Chargers wanted to sign him, and they wanted to bring him back, and he decided, obviously, took the big money to go to the Jets and everything, too.
And they paid all of it.
So
only got $2 million left on his contract.
It's crazy.
Which is amazing. So
the way that I only see Mike Williams coming here is if something happens with our wide receiving core. You kind of think about this game the wide receiver core could be a little thin. But I think it's really, we could sit and wait on this one. Let's see what DJ Shark could do. If he does officially get activated, it's not official yet, but I assume it's going to happen. I think we could be fine without him, but it might be a luxury to have him at the same side. Continuity with Justin Herbert. Well, that's what basically it'll be with him.
Yeah. And again, the reason why Mike is so great, he's so good in the red zone. Yeah. And we haven't
50-50 balls are phenomenal.
Exactly
60-40 for him generally most of the time.
Yeah, and he makes catches that are incredible. So you could use him a lot in the red zone, right? Yeah. And like the one guy that I think that we've been lacking is Parham.
Yeah.
But where Parham, he was a terrible blocker. I mean, it's almost like having me out there blocking, right? You know, not good. So my point is, you know, he's a great red zone target, but he can't really do the other things that do matter, right? So that's where the conversation gets a little wonky. But I still think he probably wants. Well, I do think he wants to go. The other team that I think they were talking about the Saints and then the Steelers.
Yep.
But dude, I don't think the Steelers are going to go after. Well, I don't know. I don't think the Saints will because the Saints are 2-4. I don't really think they're going to.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Derek Carr coming back whenever that might be. Actually, I think the Saints are 2-5 now, aren't they? Because they just played Thursday, right? Yeah, because they got smoked. But either way, their season's pretty much a toast at this point. Yeah. I mean, it's a wrap for them. I don't think that they'd really do anything major or anything. It's funny, once again, they were the hottest team in the NFL. Remember, they didn't have any they scored like on every single drive for the first 2 games or something crazy like that. And then to now, they just can't even find a way to win. So funny team all around. Let the season play out, guys. It's a long season. I think it's funny when people are like, oh, Chargers are going to lose against the Saints. Now you look a couple weeks later and you're like, okay, yeah, the Chargers will beat the Saints.
Yeah, and then we got Deontay Johnson. I know I would rather have him.
Yeah,
he's a
much better slot guy.
Yeah,
much better slot guy.
So we'll see what happens. This team is going to get dismantled.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Going back to the whole Jessie Minter thing, right? What? I can't remember who the Panthers head coach is, but he's a first-time head coach as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to blank on his name for the life of me. But my point is, what if he gets like which would be ridiculous, but David Tepper's there. But then what if they offer it to Jessie Minter and it's like, well, Jessie Minter, would you want to go there? The answer is no. You wouldn't want to go. That's a headache of an organization.
Yeah, so Dave Canales is the head coach over there. I saw this video
Dave Canales,
where it was some girl like watching like a Panthers game and was like hard eyes on Dave Canales. Like, look at that guy. That guy's hot, dude. But anyways, I guess he's the thirst trap for women these days. So anyways, so the whole thing too is like, I kind of think, and I really hope this is the case, where Harbaugh probably has that conversation with Minter if it does come up. Like, hey, look, man, like you got a better situation here. You should probably wait out for a better situation for you if you're going to be a head coach. How about I pay you kind of like how Ben Johnson got paid with the Lions, because he was a hot name in the whole entire like offseason of being a head coach for a team and ended up getting paid more to stay with the Lions. So I hope that that's going to be that same case for them coming up, in the offseason. Now, once again, it's a long season. Anything could change around for Jessie Minter and everything too. So
yeah, and I will say this: a lot of Harbaugh's boys kind of stick with Harbaugh.
Yeah,
he keeps it pretty simple for people here as well. So I wouldn't worry too much. Well, I'm worried about it because I think about that a lot.
Sure,
I stress out about it, but
got it.
I'm really hoping he doesn't. But I just want to highlight the soul taker here.
Yep,
this dude right here has just been absolutely incredible. So.
Matlock, baby.
Real quick, this is a little deeper, wider view of the offense and defense for the Chargers and Cardinals. Points per game are actually pretty similar. And I really do think we could be higher on this. We should have scored at least 2 touchdowns last game.
Agreed.
At least 2.
Agreed.
So, I don't know. I kind of feel it's a little skewed. We probably should be more like this, maybe 15th. Passing, I think we're finally getting that down. But sacks allowed, we're right around the same. But the turnovers, we're not giving the ball up. We're first in the league.
Yeah.
Only 2 turnovers, guys.
We've given up Justin Herbert's only thrown 1 interception all year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously 1 fumble and everything too. So it's crazy. I mean, I think there is a lot of evenness in some level with this team. But once again, the way that our defense plays is hard-nosed, tough, physical defense plus hard-nosed, physical offense that we're just going to bully you. What's the whole thing? That bully squad is what we will need to do. Now, there is a great chance with the Cardinals games, because if you look at the way the Cardinals have been as a team, they score 35 and then they get 35 scored on them the next game.
Yep.
And they just kind of are up and down type team. Now, if we start getting into a shootout, that's the interesting part of how this game could be. Now, I don't anticipate the way Harbaugh's teams are produced and how that they're played and how they want to basically control the game through the run game, which I think we're going to do that quite a bit in this game.
Yeah.
We will get into a shootout. I just don't anticipate that to getting to a point. That's the interesting question I'm going to pose to you guys. If we get into a shootout, couldn't we be at pace to keep that shootout going? That's a really, really good question because we have not had to do that at all season thus far. And we don't have as many wide receivers out there. Quentin Johnston not being out there too. You kind of think, could we really be in a shootout and find a way to win it?
Yeah, you do have to wonder because, we can go spread, do more bunch formations and things like that. But we haven't done it a whole lot up to this point. So that's to your point. It's where it gets a little bit
dicey.
Can we do it? Can we do it? We don't really know.
We haven't done it yet. Yeah. So
what do you guys think in the chat? I think we can. I don't think that's really what we're designed for, but I think we could do it if push comes to shove. Defensively, real quick, again, we're number one in the league. Just incredible. And again, going back to the stupid Chiefs game, I just felt like we could have won that game.
Yeah.
We should have won that game, quite frankly. But because we lost Derwin James, he was out because of that stupid suspension, and then our 2 tackles are out. And by the way, guys, when the tackles go down, I know someone made a comment about the offensive line. Our interior line needs to be better. Zion's been fine.
Yeah.
It's been our right guard. When Pipkins is in, we're much better than Jamari.
Yep.
Jamari looked very confused. If you go back and watch the film that I've seen, Jamari didn't quite – the block scheme was to go left, and he just kind of is in front, not blocking correctly.
Yeah.
Right, so he wasn't – the line wasn't moving the right way, and luckily Joe Alt was there to help him get better, right? So, but when Pipkins is in there, they're definitely better on the right side with Joe Alt.
Which is kind of wild to think about that. Pipkins in general, we've had many years with him and we've barely figured him out, and barely be able to have him out there and doing something. So I really feel like Jordan McFadden should probably be pushed up a little bit. I mean, I think Jordan McFadden, when he played last year, he played well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Darth Panic, I mean, that's a whole concern with this receiver group. If we get into a shootout, could we really start shooting out with him?
Yeah.
Battle in the desert, dude. Let's go.
Yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, let's just go through the defense real quick, guys. We're just number one. Well, I mean, total defense 16th, third down conversions. We need to improve that a little bit, right? But that's still pretty good. But look at them; they're 32nd.
Yep.
And guys, remember we had a 20-play drive last week.
And that's crazy. That's not common.
Yeah,
that's not
common at all. And so my point is, I think we're going to run the ball, and then we'll just keep our defense pretty fresh.
That's where the whole J.K. Dobbins and Kamani Vidal. I mean, to be honest, Hassan Haskins. I mean, if you looked at last game, they all were touching the ball and getting some runs. So I think we could really pick. When I look at this defense and when I look at the Cardinals defense, I'm like, dude, that is literally Brandon Staley defense.
That is
literally back end of pretty much every stat on the defense. Like, it's wild. It's very, very oddly the same.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I know last year, I was like, oh, our defense is good. I'm like, ooh, those are really bad numbers.
Terrible.
And then I kept thinking, boy, I'm really trying to sell lipstick on a pig here. I'm like, yeesh. And, because we have good players, but it's like, why are they not producing? And it was really just the scheme. The whole point is Jessie Minter keeps it very simple and very easy. But this right here is big. Red zone defense. We're keeping them out of the end zone, which is huge, guys. So, I mean, I even think about the 2-point conversion that the Broncos tried against us. And Denzel Perriman comes in like a
straight missile.
Piss missile.
Yeah. Wow.
Knocks that dude out. I was like, yowzers.
That's what they always called him, the Swiss Army knife.
Piss missile?
No, well, they call it Denzel Perriman a Swiss Army knife. So meaning he's the guy that could just kind of attack through the line and just hit the man quick. So he's done a great job all around.
Well, I think so. Guys, my laptop is about to die. It's literally beeping at me saying, "Hey guys, you're running out of power right now." So let's wrap up real quick. James, you want to go real fast? Here, let's try and get this a little more.
Once again, I do think it's very, very winnable game that's about to happen, and it's awesome to be able to see what's going on with all these Chargers fans here in Arizona. There is so many people going to be in that stadium, and I think, to be honest, it's going to be a lot of powder blues.
Powder blues.
Don't let the powder blues fool you, baby.
That's right. And guys, go ahead.
It's just going to be amazing. And once again, come out tonight to the social tap in Scottsdale. It's It's going to be an amazing time with a bunch of different Chargers fans and everything too. So once again, guys, bolt up. Let's go, man. I can't wait for this game on Monday night. And by the way, too, tickets are super, super cheap. If you're in Arizona right now, you could get tickets for about $30 right now. I got parking passes at the stadium for $10. If you're used to SoFi pricing, you're going to have an absolute field day. You could get down to the 100 level, field level for like under $100 right now.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. So come on out, guys. If you're in Arizona, please come on out to the game.
Yeah, we should take over the stadium as well.
Yep, I agree, Darth Panic.
Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. Again, this should be a winnable game. Where I worry about is it going to turn into a trap game. Yep. The one thing I will say, this coaching staff won't allow it to be a trap game. I mean, I feel like we're still going to play our offense. As long as our team stays healthy enough, we're going to be fine, right? Yep. And again, where I get nervous is Christian Fulton's been banged up. We've had some key players get banged up, so I'm a little curious. Like, okay, DJ Chark's coming back. Man, I would hate it if he like re-aggravated that injury again.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
exactly.
So I think that's where I get a little nervous. Only reason we would have a hard time winning this game is some of these injuries piling up and we're struggling as it goes. But on paper, we should win. Not even a problem. 100%. And honestly, I think we should run the ball a lot.
100%.
And I think the play action pass will be good.
Yeah.
So, but with DJ Chark, remember, guys, he will be able to stretch the field. And that'll open up the running game. So the running game should be way better. Because you guys remember, the Broncos and also the Chiefs, they stacked the box the entire time. They were stacked. I mean, it's funny. I couldn't believe how stacked they were. And we were still running the ball really well, right? So a lot of these running plays are designed, cool, you stack the box, doesn't matter. We just got to make our blocks. So I'm just saying, if we could get a lighter box, man, the running game is just going to open up even more. And it's going to be awesome. So, all righty, guys.
All right, guys. Let's get this victory on Monday night. Boom. See you guys in Scottsdale at the Social Tap tonight.
Social Tap.
That'd be phenomenal, guys. So once again, guys, let's get out of here. Bolt Bros.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up? Cameron Dick here watching the Bolt Bros podcast. Let's go.
Charged up, Bolt Bros on the night.